Hello and welcome to this overnight taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol Goldens. This is the world famous Appleton Estate signature blend. Appleton Estate founded in 1746. Now, right after I bought this bottle at Walmart, they changed the label, which the new label to me is bland. It's dull, but this one shows the valley with the sugarcane fields and the hills behind it, mountains maybe. Crafted in the heart of Jamaica, distilled and blended in Jamaica by Ray and Nephew Limited. Which is owned by Campari. Thought it was Campari, an Italian company. They make their own brand, Campari liqueur, but they own this. They own Wild Turkey. They own what's that Canadian whiskey that they call it Niagara whiskey? 40 Creek. So they're big. This is Kings Bay. She's crying. She's gonna cry the whole time. Come on. I'm just going to have to be cold because I got this little heater running it. But she's outside the door. But if I try to open the door, she runs because she's scared. But then she's going to come right back. Once I get her in here, I'll... Come on. Driving me crazy. Come on. Cold outside. You see, we have this historic cold front for November. Although, weren't we told that the world was getting warmer, but now it's getting colder? But then they say, oh, don't worry about warming. It's climate change. That's a catch-all. It could be anything. But anyway, Kings Bay. I know you're not supposed to question those things. You're supposed to go along with everything. Kings Bay Tropical Island Style Gold. Caribbean inspired rum. It used to say Caribbean Islands rum. It was actually imported from the Caribbean, but they built this new distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky, and now they literally distill the rum in Kentucky. Come on. Good, I got you now. So now I can close the door and not be freezing. I'm not the whole house, there's no need for that. But I don't do that too much unless it's really cold. 41 degrees is not really cold. 38 is not really cold like tomorrow. But it's really cold for November 10th. Okay, so it's a Kentucky rum, kind of unusual, rum in Kentucky, but that's where it's made, and it's produced by the Founders Company, they call it, for Safeway stores, which is now part of the Albertsons Company stores. So Safeway owns a trademark, and they always have since 1987 as a private label for Safeway. But since Safeway was bought by Albertsons, consequently, it's owned by Albertsons. And you can find it at Jewel Osco. You could find it at Albertsons, Safeway, Barnes, Shaw's, and other chains, other stores in that mega chain. Now she jumped down, and in 1 or 2 minutes, she's going to cry for me to pick her back up. That's why I call the cat Crybaby. So it's a nice looking label, basic, but it used to be a really funky looking label with a cheap rip-off looking Captain Morgan rip-off character. Now I'll show you the new Appleton Estate label when I get a chance. I hear you. got food, you got water. This is going to be a struggle. Okay. Not enough. More than enough. Okay. Cut it out. You want to walk up on here? You're not going to drink rum. Cats don't drink sugar. Leave it alone. Okay. This one is very light, pale. This is what rum looks like when it's aged maybe, 5 weeks in the old barrel, and they don't add colorant. They add natural flavor, which I think is vanilla probably, but they're not going to spend the money to add colorant. That's why it was $5.99 for this full-size bottle here. Over here, I mean, $5.99. They don't sell that size bottle anymore. They went to just the big bottles. Probably they were selling better. Here's the beautiful Appleton Estate. Now, it may have coloring added. I don't know. Rums can have coloring added and like caramel color, and they can tweak it with a little flavoring, and they don't. By the U.S. law, I don't know Jamaica's law, but by U.S. law, they don't have to put that on the label. They can add flavoring and color. I can't play with you right now. Come here. They can add flavoring and color, and they don't have to put it on the label, is what I'm saying. One thing about Jamaica and Louisiana that we have in common, we both have parishes, not counties. You know how most states are divided into counties. Jamaica is divided into parishes, and just like Louisiana has parishes. Kind of an older way of doing local government, but basically the same as a county. But I think parishes were based more like on a church parish, Jamaica being Anglican church, Louisiana Catholic church. What do you want? Here's a screen share. Now here's the new Appleton Estate signature blend label. Kind of dull, huh? I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just a little simple, I think. So they're saying product, Appleton Estate signature blend, a blend of rums with an average of 4 years. No official age statement, but it averages out to 4 years. Like there might be a 1 year age, it might be a 7 year age, but all the rums they blend average out to 4. And most rums that you buy are blends, just like most bourbons you buy, blends of different bourbons. Then they got, from the same distillery. I'm not talking about. There's a product called a blend of straight bourbon. Just take different barrels of various ages, and they get the right taste. And then they go with the youngest age. And that's the official age, 3 year age, like ancient age. Pot still and column still. So it can't qualify as a rum. Well, it would. If it was a Puerto Rico, it would not qualify as a rum of Puerto Rico because they have to be column still, continuous distillation. Can't use still. Don't know why that is in play, but it is. Light amber with golden lights. Appleton Estate, Nassau Valley. I don't know where Nassau Valley is. Harvest gold or fruit forward with notes of dried apricots, fresh peach, and hints of molasses. I don't know about all that. Rich and mildly sweet with short citrus and nutty notes. Joy Spence. Must be the distillery master. With Jamaican limestone filtered water and no added flavors. Oh, there's my answer. I said, do they have flavor? No. Now notice they didn't mention coloring, huh? Then they got their story going back to 1749. I don't know what to put you down. And if I put you down, you cry for me to hold you. You got to decide. So they start with molasses. There's the sugar cane. I was looking at sugar cane fields Saturday in Louisiana. Sugar cane's so high. They're about, they ferment it into like a sugar cane wine, which I'm sure would be disgusting to drink. Non-GMO. Nice. Guess. Then they distill it. They take the wine and they distill it liquor. And then, you know, the last thing, sell it as a clear rum, unaged, or they age it in these oak barrels. And look, say bourbon barrels. Most likely Wild Turkey, wouldn't you? Campari owns Appleton Estate and Wild Turkey. Why somebody else's barrels or buy their barrels when you have your own bourbon barrels, right? And Wild Turkey's a good brand, so heck. Then they blend it. There's Joy Spence and her team. They blend it. I don't know if the hurricane affected the production, but I'm sure it didn't help. We adhere to strict minimum aging guidelines. This means that the age statement on a bottle is to the youngest drop of rum in the blend, unless they choose not to put it, such as with the signature, the signature blend I have. Here is Kings Bay, basic product, you know, ingredients, molasses. They forgot to mention natural flavoring. It says the producer. Now notice the producer doesn't say the founder's company. It shows who's really making it. Here, play with these. Should be crying again. Now I'm going to mix them up. Turn on the lamps. It's getting a little warm in here. I'll turn on this heater. I can't, you see the heater, if I run it, it's too warm, but if I turn it off, it gets chilly. But I'm not going to sit here and be hot. All right. Got these t-shirt and this what do you call this, a hoodie on. I'm going to need to bundle up when I go walking with that wind whipping up out there. This is the 50th anniversary, talking about wind and storms. It's the 50th anniversary of the crash of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Huge Great Lakes ship, freighter, carried iron ore, one of the biggest ones ever made. Broke up in a storm. Terrible tragedy, 29 killed. 50 years ago today. Aroma. Rich. Like you go to like a fancy restaurant, they have their creme brulee for dessert. This one, I can't say what it smells like because it doesn't have any smell. It's just like neutral. So does it smell bad? No, it just doesn't smell. I mean, you can kind of tell it's a liquor in there, but that even takes effort. No joke. So what's the price for the Appleton Estate? It's not expensive. Like when I bought it at Walmart, I think it was $18.99. I don't know if they still have it over there. But I haven't been really searching. I know I haven't really been searching their. So I know this is the Appleton Estate because it had the rich aroma. I didn't have to really guess further than that. So is this a fair challenge? It's not. It's not really a fair challenge, but it is the final challenge in the rum series because starting tomorrow, God willing, we're going to go with tequila. And I got a really low end tequila that I bought at Albertsons. Oh, no, I see it at Albertsons. Retraction. I see it over there. But I actually bought it at an independent store called Star. They had the silver and the gold for $5.98. So I figured no risk factor. Probably ain't going to taste like much. And it doesn't. But it's not bad. You know, like, it ain't that good, but it ain't. All right, let's go with the taste. So the aroma is rich and bountiful and has a lot of character. Taste. I hear you purring. The taste is good. That creme brulee, that that molasses, like a molasses cookie, but without the cookie part. But the molasses cookies have that rich molasses flavor. I need to buy some molasses cookies. Well, don't need to, but I think I would like to do that soon. Um, because molasses cookies are good. Um, so medium body, mostly dry finish. It's not too sweet. It's not the complicated. It's not a complicated product because remember this is their base model. Every liquor brand has a base model because of course you got to start somewhere. And this is the signature blend. So I bought this purposely. I said I'll start at the bottom, then I can move up the ladder, of course, to other higher grades from this company. I think they were saying buy it. Let me see who sells it close to me, just for interest. I don't really see it that much. Well, no, I'm not going to order online. These people nuts. I thought they had a locator tool. Oh, well, never mind that. It's not important. Let's see what Walmart's got it going for right now, though. That's a curiosity. Like I said, I paid $18.99, and I believe it's going up a little bit. Appleton Estate rum. 21. Yeah, so it's going up $3. Well, $2.99. That's not so bad. It's available today when they open at 6 a.m. in about 3 hours, a little bit longer than 3 hours. But that's the only one they sell. See, so Walmart only deals with the base model. And Walmart's the kind of store, like they're not going to really sell a whole lot of like upper level stuff. I mean, they will. There is some, like they sell Buchanan's, and then they have the Buchanan's Reserve, which is like the $80 Buchanan's. But they don't mainly deal with the upper tier stuff because most people going to Walmart not really looking for the upper tier. That's more like a specialty liquor store. Well, like for instance, Total Wine and More does deal with a lot of upper level stuff. But any real competition here? Nah, we knew that going in. Kings Bay is okay if you're looking for a inexpensive rum. I mean, really inexpensive. Buy Kings Bay. If you're looking for a quality, you can start at Appleton Estate. It's a little better than Bacardi, I believe. The Bacardi Gold. It's probably on the level of, I don't know. It's hard to say because you got Cruzan coming in around $9.99. You got Bacardi comes in around $15.99. That's too high to jump. Then you have this one at $21.99, and they're kind of all like the lowest end of regular is $9.99, and the highest end of regular is like $22 for rum. Rum is still kind of inexpensive. Bourbon has gone through the roof. Scotch is a nightmare on price these days. Mezcal is crazy. People tell me they remember when mezcal was like a cheap liquor to buy. Now it's like the craze. But on the other hand, we could still get Buffalo Trace around here for $23.99, and there's no bottle limit. It's just on the shelf. Well, the headquarters of Buffalo Trace is only 31 miles from here, so they probably make sure we get it. Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace from Sazerac House in New Orleans. They own Buffalo Trace Distillery in Kentucky, and I'm sure if you live around Kentucky, you can get it. Other states tell me. I was talking to somebody in Montana. He said they cannot get it. It's like Buffalo Trace is like allocated, and you got to pay some exorbitant price. And I'm like, nah, not if they have it on sale around here for $23.99. It's like Sazerac Rye. They have stores around here that have Sazerac Rye for $19.99 on sale. They'll sell it for $19.99. And then they got people talking about they have to pay $50 for it. No, that's insanity. Don't ever do that. Well, it's not. It's a $20 rye whiskey. It's good, but it's not no $50 rye whiskey. Okay, so final assessment. The clear and present winner is Appleton Estate. There's obviously no competition between these two. Kings Bay, serviceable for obviously cocktails, cheap cocktails like, like Pepsi Cola and rum, or putting it in milk with coffee. Like, you could do that. Don't tear up my loose leaf paper, please. Sorry about the distractions from this kitten. I mean, they wanted me to adopt her. They found her at the car wash. And she's really, you know what I mean, like active and irritating in a way. But I like, I don't really get irritated, but it's disrupting the video. I mean, they're cute the way they want to play. It's a baby, But she does have a tendency to tear things up, like shredding my cloth flowers. I picked some cotton in North Louisiana once, from a cotton plantation, and I kept it just as like a display. And she's tearing that up because she thinks it's fun to rip the cotton balls off the stems, and I don't like that, How am I wasted? You kidding, right? I took 2 little samples of this. You think that's going to make me wasted? I don't think so. I'm about to go drink some coffee, but you're just kidding around. It's 2:57 a.m. Central Time. I get it. I'm not going to hate on this product, though. I'm not going to brag on it. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, unless you're just curious like me, you say, well, I just want to try it. It's $5.99. What the heck? But now, like I said, they only sell the big jug bottles, $13.99. Then you're stuck with a big bottle. See, I'm stuck with this. No big deal. 750 milliliters. I mean, it's up to you. I would not have bought the jug bottle just because I don't need all that, but for $5.99 for this, I bought it, I did 14 taste challenges and I got it right every time except once. I got it wrong. 13 wins, 1 loss. And the only time I got it wrong is I was going up against some other Sazerac private label cheap rum. Like it was like Skull or one of those brands. So they were comparable and they're the same price. So, but otherwise, is there any chance you're going to confuse Kings Bay with a name brand rum? The answer, no way it's going to happen. Will not happen. So the biggest complaint I can make about this product is that it's kind of bland, a little bit dull. I mean, it's got no kind of color because they're not adding coloring to it. It's got a little vanilla flavor to it because they're adding flavoring. Maybe, just a little bit to tweak it. That's not a rat. Did you hear all that? It's not a rat in my house. It's a rat catcher. It's a kitten. All right. So that's it. Now, tomorrow, like I say, if I'm able to do it, because things happen when you can't do it. Today, I got it real early, obviously. I didn't stay up real late. I got it real early. I'm like a reverse night owl. I'm up at night because I wake up early, People are like, wow, you stayed up late. It's 3 a.m. It's like, well, no, I didn't stay up late. I woke up late. I woke up early, but it's the same result. Nighttime, I'm walking around the house doing stuff, drinking coffee, doing a rum taste challenge. But tomorrow's starting tequila. Don't expect much because honestly, Bandolero is not what we would call a world-class tequila. We would call it a tolerable tequila product. Not even a true tequila because it got natural flavors added to it. Now you say, why would you want to add natural flavors to the tequila? Why would you do that? The answer is probably because if you didn't add them, you would hate to drink it. That kind of thing. Oh man, I'll show it to you on the website tomorrow. It is comical. But I bought it, $5.98, no risk. My friend David told me Saturday, life's too short to be buying all these junky products that you buy. I was like, I agree with that, but I just buy them anyway. It's like I agree with you, but I'm still buying them, but not anymore. Obviously, I'm trying to go to a better grade. But they're so cheap, you just like you buy them because it doesn't cost anything. But anyway, I do have to move up the ladder. I mean, we get it. We know what these things taste like. Are they ever terrible? They're never terrible, but they're always kind of bland. Now with the beers, if you get a cheap beer, they are terrible. Like they can be a monstrously bad. Something about beer, they can't really cover up the badness of it. But with these cheap liquors, they're really not too bad. They're just dull. It's like you get burnout on the dullness. Wine, I mean, the cheap wines, they're really not bad. Like people say bum wine, MD 2020. I guess that's a fair assessment. MD 2020 bum wine, although it's actually more expensive than some other better brands. But it's all right, if you don't expect too much. But it's not, I can't sit there and say it's nasty, like, oh, I drank MD 2020, it was gross. No, it tastes like grape jelly. It's made with the same grapes they make grape jelly from. So if you get Weiler's, not Weiler's, Weiler's is the grape drink. If you get Welch's grape jelly, it's made with what they call Concord grapes, which grow in New York. I guess they can take a lot of cold. And if you get the MD 2020 or Mogan David wine, it's made with Concord grapes. So that's why the wine tastes like grape jelly. Not a bad flavor, but I don't really know if I want to drink grape jelly, but it is what it tastes like. So anyway, that's it. So check me out tomorrow if I'm able to do it. We're starting a tequila series. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye, everybody. Whoa, you were really disruptive this morning. I mean, totally out of control.